a data center, engineers are engineers. If you put a constraint on their problem, they'll figure out a way around that constraint and they'll make it work.
Well, just so like the average person finds loopholes in taxes and every other law, they will find loopholes in everything else to work around it to make it work, because whether we like it or not, we need these things to exist. And I think there's a lot of, I don't want to speak highly of all of that big tech and big pharma and all this, because I still have my reservations about it, but it's a thing that's going to exist, and we need to find a way to have it impact us and the environment in the least way possible. But it's going to keep going on. And like, some of this stuff has been around already for decades. It's just that like the data centers now just need to be bigger than they were before. Like, I mean, I remember for touring one, I don't know, a decade ago, like right downtown Toronto, and it's just a few floors on an office building. Now it's a whole building. So like the scale has gone up, but like they've already been there. We just didn't know about it. They just used to hide it a lot better. Like in New York, they have them, and there's like, they just buy an old house and turn it into a data center. So from the outside, it still looks like that same shabby apartment building, but inside it's all computers. Now they're, I mean, you know, Amazon warehouse sized
that's
data centers.
Is they are scaling it out, and we actually call them hyperscalers.
Yeah,
that's what they do. A hyperscaler grows infrastructure instantly and quickly, and then they're first to market. And that's the idea. They all want to be first to market. Who's the first one to say, I got you? And we have seen in the past, when there's a big player ready at the table and machines are there, they're going to put a workload on it. They'll make sure somebody has a workload for it. So if somebody's got their workload running somewhere else, they're going to approach them and go, you know, you're paying too much for what you're getting right now. I can give you that same, if not a little better, but I'm going to take that cost down a good 60%.
Yeah. I mean, the thing that I don't like about them more than anything is that, like, my tax dollars are going to pay for the data center that a private business is using and reaping the benefits of. So I think that's wrong, because my tax dollars should go to me and nobody else. But, you know, if they want to build a data center, they should be able to build a data center, but they should pay for all of the infrastructure that needs to get built in order to accommodate it, and the upkeep and the this and the that and the everything else, than like any other private business. But
if you're not asking me a strategy, when you put money into something, it gives you a right to say something about how it's being done and used, right?
Yeah.
If we're not participating in funding it, guess what we have? Zero say in any of it. Yeah. So right now, that's where people are at. They don't really have a say in what's being going on, and that's why it's being felt like it's being pushed on them, and it is. Yeah. Until you make it known. So if it's really core to you and your community, you have to organize. You have to organize. And in a way, that's what we're doing here as preppers, isn't it? We're organizing and preparing for things that may occur, but in fact, data centers are occurring. So it's not a probability-based thing. It is happening. And if you're in an area where there's available hydro and space, and by hydro, I mean energy, and there is space, there's somewhere right now, there's a data center looking at buying that land.
I mean, Hamilton was successful in pushing that one that they were going to build there, but my city, Mississauga, was like, great, we'll take your money and have you build a data center here. So like, there's always going to be somebody that's going to do it, but like, it can be really useful. I use AI almost every day for work, because I have to write HR letters to people, and my language is generally not great. And the things that I would like to say to people will get me in trouble. So I need it to translate it into politically correct language. Yeah, you can't say things anymore that you could say a while ago.
Not the Parliament building, you kick everybody out.
Yeah. So, and just, I was getting my solar panels and batteries and everything set up properly for, I mean, coming here, but just in general anyways, because it wasn't working great. And I was like taking pictures and sending it to AI, and it was showing me what was wrong with it. So it can be an incredibly powerful tool for people that don't have people to talk to for some of this stuff, right? Like not everyone can come here. Not everyone has the ability to listen to the podcast or anything else, but you can ask AI. Now, AI is only as good as the information that the people put in, because that's all it does is access the information. But it can be a really powerful tool, but there's a lot of negatives too.
I will say this.
What do you think about what I think maybe what she's getting at, and I would get at, is what's the job picture for people going to look like in 5 years with AI? Like,
I can
We're
start
all going to just
answering
not
now.
work and just live a life of leisure. And
So
yes, isn't that what we were promised?
That's
well,
exactly what's gonna happen.
I know that's the
Yeah.
sales pitch. The sales pitch is you'll have to do less.
Yeah.
But right now, you're already not getting much. Excuse me for that rude interruption. So
This is
right
AI
now, you're not
telling
getting
me to
much
shut
for
up.
your money. So what's the technology doing for you now? If you're not using it, it's not helping you. And if it's maybe harming you, then maybe you've got to figure out how you're going to work with that. I'm trying to figure out how to work with that because I'm former IT, and I consciously made a choice a few years ago. We got
They're listening to us.
see?
Thanks, Dean.
There we go.
AI is showing you who's in charge, Claude.
Yeah.
It's just trying to silence you.
Y'all have heard that.
Yeah.
So it's my opinion that if you are going to use AI, let's say it's all of what you're doing, right? Personally, I've ensured that what I do for a living isn't reliant on it. And there are many things right now that are still not reliant on AI and don't work with AI. But there are a lot of jobs right now that are at risk, in my opinion.
Doesn't like him.
No, that I'm not surprised by.
Kelly, you have a question?
See, I think it's all about surveillance of humanity.
So ultimately, right now, as somebody who is willingly leaving IT, one of the reasons I'm leaving IT is because ethically I have concerns with where it's going. I do. And I feel a lot better about what I'm doing these days than what I used to do. And that's why I don't really want to go back to private sector IT either. I'm now doing IT for myself, as Eric and I have shared before. And it doesn't mean IT is a bad thing. It's helped me reach out to audiences, to people that otherwise would know nothing about me. So technology has always those two sides.
It has its place.
And the way to get it to your advantage is to master it and control it yourself. Years ago, I was asked what I would do if I wanted to improve Canada's security and stance in IT. And I told them I would start a free and open source excellence center. And I would fund it with hardware and software. Get allies, make alliances with different corporations that have a stake in good, secure IT infrastructure, and they'll come to the table. But instead of doing that, a lot of our governments have sought to use vendors on who they can place the responsibility and the ownership. So all they have to do is just rent it and lease it. And they've been doing this not only in the world of software, they've been doing this also in the world of real estate. So federal government right now is trying to divest itself of all its properties because asbestos. That's the biggest reason. So it's now also seeing risk and managing risk in all other areas that it has to manage in the same way. Because these files are very costly to the taxpayer and to internal operations, and they affect the economy also. If you've got a white elephant building sitting there, nobody can touch it, nobody can go in there and do anything because asbestos, but nobody's talking about it, it affects the economy, right?
Isn't that what?
So, yeah, you've been waiting a while.
Yes,
Sorry.
please.
Just a little bit.
Okay, so I've been following mining investors. And so I've been following the demand for silver and how important that resource is in building these data centers. And also, that's not the only mineral. There's also copper, there's lithium, there's a whole bag of minerals. And there's also electricity and there's water. So there's all of these resources. And from what I've been listening to, I have come to the conclusion, and so have others, that there aren't that many available resources that these people are saying that they are going to be able to build these data centers and there's going to be all of this resource available when it takes 10 years to develop a copper mine just to increase the copper, or to build a silver mine takes 10 years from discovery, exploration, development, and then production.
I mean, this is the problem though with any government entity like that. I mean, look at the electric car that we were supposed to not have any more gas cars by 2035 or whatever. Was there not knocking electric cars, because there is a use for them, but in this country where it's cold and the air hurts your face for at least half the year, and batteries don't do good in the cold. You also need to run a heater, which draws batteries and lights because it's dark all the bloody time in the winter. Battery is not a great thing. And the further north you go in this country, the worse of an idea it is. And there's no infrastructure here. Like, it's still sometimes hard enough to find a gas station in remote areas. Are there charging centers? No. But they will push these ideas before the infrastructure is there, before the resources are there. And you kind of have to do that, because if you don't, then it's never going to get there.
And if I can be frank, there's an industry that hasn't invested in itself in a long time. And they've been making contracts with all these data centers. Yeah, we got power for you. Oh yeah, we got power for you. We got power for you. Because, I don't know, greed?
Yeah.
It's the
You
business
were talking
model.
about mining and you were talking about jobs. And I think those are connected, because I think that the mining sector is huge. Trades, mechanics, the biggest demand right now in trades in Ontario is heavy machine mechanic.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody who's going to actually fix all the machines. Okay, so if we're talking getting out of IT, yeah, because you're going to need, with more AI, you're going to remove middlemen, you're going to remove the people that are making decisions, you're going to remove managers, and what you are going to get is the people that are on the ground that are actually fixing.
Yeah, you still need the people to build the center, to maintain the
That's right.
Monies and
equipment.
commodities.
That's
The
right.
monies
And
and
mining
commodities.
especially, because you're going to need the people to be doing it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the thing is that all these normies are investing in the AI sector. So what they don't realize is that for their stock in AI, it has to be backed by minerals and resources. What they're not seeing beyond their AI stock, because they're not seeing beyond what is going to, what
What's going to
resources
be
are going to
used
have to be
to
there.
build that.
And it's been thought that people are going to take one step further and then go into the mining after they're kind of done with their AI stocks.
Kind of
That
wish
they
our
will go
resident
into
silver stacker
the
Ian was
mining when
here.
they realize that there's no
Absolutely.
resources for them to build those AI centers. So that's my opinion.
Well, energy is going to be huge,
Yeah.
right? There's always going to be a demand.
And
for
it's
energy.
the same thing
So
with
that's one
the EV batteries. They need all those, all those precious mineral, whatever
That
they call them,
technology is also
Rare
changing.
earth.
rare earth minerals to make the batteries.
That's right.
You've got a comment in the back.
Been waiting patiently back there.
Let me tie that together. I'm in construction and mining and minerals.
Perfect. Come on, let's have a seat.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, we don't have the people. We don't have the 310 T mechanics. We don't have the laborers.
Come
We don't have the
closer.
skilled people. We don't have people that want to work the long hours. And you're 100% right on. It's actually 20 years to get mines. I just spent 22 years trying to get my license. It takes
Permitting,
a long
permitting,
time.
permitting.
The amount, and I want to tie back to what you were talking about a few minutes ago. The amount of
Invite him in,
Ontario
'cause
power
the mic is
generation
on.
contracts we're doing
Come on,
right
Coach.
now.
Come on.
Come on up.
Yeah. We got a resident expert. Yeah.
You're on a podcast, so yeah.
The amount of Ontario power generation contracts we're doing that have 3-year get it done by 2029 is insane right now. And I can piece it together from looking at all the different contracts. I don't know how many people know about the Over the Horizon project. Anybody aware of that?
No.
Okay, so the Over Horizon project is a U.S. project being forced through the Canadian government to build an array with send and receive sites like HARP. There's one in Clearview Township being built. same proponent is, I won't name them because we're working with them. The other one's being built up between Head Lake and in the Kawarthas, between Copaconk and Head Lake. And these things are not small projects. They're federal projects. I've been doing this for 33 years. I have never seen a project go like this before. Into Ottawa, leave your cell phone, your iPhone, leave your tablet, leave your computer. You can have a number 2 HP pen, piece of paper. You're not allowed to have the drawings. We're not telling what you're going to bid. Give us your overhead. It can't be less than 3%. It can't be more than 39%. Ignore every government charge you have to pay. WSIB, on insurance, Canadian pension. Don't even put that in your overhead. We know you need to pay that. Tell us your number. Every contractor put 3% in because it's license print monies, time and materials job, and the excavations. Before we start building, before we know what we're building, in cubic meters. So a cubic meter of dirt is a meter by a meter by a meter, weighs about 2.5 tons. We got to dig that out before we're even told what we're going to build.
Cubic meters.
So these are radar stations, and this is the answer from the federal government. Just past the fence, and only about 500 meters by 500 meters, we're going to put this fence around it, and the radiation that we're going to send out won't harm anything outside of the fence. That's what the contract's telling us. But it has to be built before 2029.
Yeah, good luck.
So does the LPG contracts. Like we're putting in, we're working with somebody right now. All the contractors coming in from Alberta. We've got multiple contractors that are 50% owned or more by natives, so we can put the stuff through native lands.
Yep. LNG or LPG?
56 kilometers of big hydro towers to go to feed these things. Like these aren't small projects, and nobody knows anything about what they're building because you're told on a Tuesday what you're going to build on a Wednesday. You're told on the Friday what you're going to build on the Monday. There's
no
1
leakage.
day's notice. Everything is running through, and people that are building it only know one thing: what they're building. All the electronics, separate to distinct contracts, and these guys don't know what the hell these guys are being asked.
That's how it's done.
This is what's going on right now.
That's how it's done.
So there's 2 of them, one in Clearview Township, one in Kawartha Lakes, being built, and they're massive projects. And the locals are pissed, but
It's local right
you
here.
It's hard, I can see
can't
why.
stop them. Their answer to the project is really simple. You had the same opportunity we had as federal government to buy the land. You didn't buy the land. Get our way. That's really where you're coming from, the federal government.
That sounds like an
So my concept or question to the group is, as we have more and more of these projects, this isn't just in Ontario, this is in multiple provinces simultaneously, right? So are we ready for the surveillance that's really coming?
I don't think people are.
No,
Because we don't really know the collective
I don't think
what's
people are.
really coming.
no, but I mean, at least you're seeing things like in other places where those flock cameras are going up and
The UK is turning them all down.
they're
So
getting torn down, and people are recovering the copper from them and other minerals that are valuable.
Comment?
Yes, so they held a public meeting in Copaconk for us to attend. And what we were told was, it's gonna be a radar station and it's gonna be safe and effective. We heard that before. And there's no need to worry. They'll look after us. We'll be fine. There's no danger involved in any of this. We're gonna like it. We're gonna be happy.
Trust the science.
Yeah,
Trust
and if
me.
you don't, you're a bigot and everything else. Yeah, that's the thing. But yeah, they're going to lie, whatever it is.
they are doing it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
back.
Can you give the speakers a microphone? I understand anybody
Oh,
who's saying, like you can do that.
can
Or they can come up. Like
yeah, we
ask
get
them to
Yeah.
speakers. We get speakers to come
Yeah,
up,
yeah.
and
Ask them
that works great. Yeah,
to come up.
we can do that.
Now, on a personal level, what I advise people to do is, and I've been advising people to do this for a long time. Mostly because what gets us in a trap is when we buy into a tech fully, right? When you buy into a tech, so when I have bought into a tech, it's because I understood how to tear it apart and rebuild it. When I start creating things with it, it's because I feel comfortable with it to tear it down, rebuild it. In my opinion, unless we're willing to do that with a tech, when we start to use it, we are putting ourselves at risk because we don't understand the implications of using it. When I was a younger man, I was helping people understand how to work with the internet, how to look up a browser, how to use a website, how to use a search engine. So I feel partly complicit in the set of circumstances that got us here, right? I got people to adopt the tech. Now I'm helping people work without the tech. So that's my solution, but I think it's going to require for everybody to think, how can I reduce my dependence on tech while also not being ignorant of the tech, so that when it does come out, oh, I got you. I know what we're doing. I know how to work with this. So that's the best I've got for it. And that's what I've done, right? I hate wireless. I don't like Bluetooth. I feel weird when I got Bluetooth with me, right? I don't like GPS. I feel weird when I got the GPS running. So I got physical symptoms when I have the stuff running, but I still use them. But I have to control them. If I can't disable GPS or Bluetooth on any device, guess what happens to that device? I'm not buying it. I'm not using it.
And that's how we feel about AI. I should have the choice. I now have AI, and it says it's giving me a synopsis of my string of emails. Screw you. I don't want that.
Run some Linux. That's my answer.
Okay, but the other thing is AI the answer to the DEI problem? I don't have to be that bright. You can hire me because I'll use AI anyway. Come on, let's dumb it down.
Right now in the workplace, people are being told to use AI. Okay, I can assure you this. This is happening on a massive scale. Employers are telling their employees, you will do more. And if you don't know how to do more, get AI to help you do more. They're being told this actively, right? And those who are figuring out the ways, and this is exactly what Gavin was talking about, those who are figuring out the ways are getting ahead faster.
Yeah. I mean, I use it every day, and I encourage my employees to use it every day because, one, we're paying for it anyways. And like, if it can help them be more organized and get things done faster and on time, then that means it costs me less, which means then the business does better. But like, if people are not, like everyone screws around at work.
Who
Right.
owns the information? Who owns that document? Who
Great
has
question.
the
Well, but
rights,
that's
the intellectual rights to that document when AI has written it for you?
Those are the
but that's
questions.
those
of
are
the
the
day.
things, right? But
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
to get away from technology completely and to live totally off the grid and all of that is exhausting.
It is.
The things that you will have to do that is not possible. You will, like, to the point where it becomes so unbearable that you will do something and screw up and use a device or do something. Because at this point, everything that you have has some sort of electronic signature that can be used to track you. So you have to get rid of your key fob on your car, your phone, your watch, everything, and live totally 100% not connected to anything.
So basically, be Amish.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Like a Mennonite.
And you know what? And I can tell you, as somebody who has lived alongside the Amish, they were just my neighbors down the street. I know it's doable,
Yes.
but I can tell you what will happen in you deciding to walk away from the tech. You're also sacrificing a means of connecting to an entire generation that only know how to connect to that tool. And so that's what I experienced when I was fully off the grid. I was having a great time. I felt like this was the best day of my life, but who knows about it? Who am I able to share it with? And so unless you've got other people with you, and that's the challenge we're living right now. Technology has helped us to get here, but if we were to drop it all right now and go back to the Stone Age now, a lot of us who have grown used to certain standards and ideals would see those crumble in about 3 days. Because it's 3 days without food, water, that a civilization turns to savagery. And that's modern civilization. So the cat's out of the bag. What do?
You have
I
to learn
teach
to know
people how-
when to turn it off and when to use it and what its limitations are and what its risks are.
Voila.
And one thing that I've learned through doing all of the weird things that I've done, the more advanced the system, the more prone it is to a primitive attack. So like crazy computer AI security systems and all of that, figure everything out, it'll end up being something that is so stupid and primitive that it can't figure out.
I'm going to give you an example of how AI
A mouse
is.
chewing through a wire.
Basically, yes. Or like if you've got like thermal cameras that do all of the things and see people's body heat, you can literally just hold up like a sheet and defeat it, right? Because it can't read the temperature difference on the other side. Like, so dumb things like that. It's crazy advanced technology, and then that defeats it, right? And it's the same thing. It's going to be some crazy computer that can basically read your mind, but all you have to do is a mouse chew it through a wire, or some idiot forgets to flip the switch or something, right? That it's going to just stop it.
Sometimes it's random things people have not even thought of.
Yeah,
but
something gets wet.
I'll tell you what my strategy's been. Wet. Wet. Somebody left a tool somewhere.
Yeah.
All right, that's a big one. You left a tool somewhere, and then you closed it, shut it, passed inspection, and the tool's still in there. And one day, it's a tiny little earthquake. Nothing much happens, but the tool shifts just a wee bit.
Yeah. 2 points that shouldn't contact.
Stuff happens
right?
every day.
But if you know those things, you know how to mitigate those things. You can live with technology and be in this sort of medium space where you are obviously still being surveilled, but you're still somewhat protected and your information is relatively protected.
There's also something called the ghost in the machine. So when you're programming something, you think that you're programming and this is your outcome. And it doesn't happen that way. You program and you program and you program, and then something else comes out, because that's called the ghost in the machine. And it's just the way it goes.
The other thing I'm going to say about the world of IT and AI, how do I say this without attracting a storm that's going to get me shot? A lot of what you are seeing in the media are designed to pump you up so you invest. About 95% of it is hype. Buy, 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 buy. And so in order to create the illusion that you need to buy this stock now, because it's going to help your portfolio perform, they're going to have quarterly earnings reports. They're going to have quarterly this and that. They're going to cook the books so that people just buy more of that widget, whatever it is, whether it's an AI, a hardware gadget, a software gadget. This is how sales works. It's the world of marketing. So what I've done is just do what I do. Don't surrender to the marketing. Study everything. If a statement is being put out, one, I don't assume it's the truth. I assume the opposite, and then I investigate. Until I investigate, I assume everything is Hollywood. That is how I carry out my day, and I don't go crazy. So start thinking about the ways in which AI is data cataloging me. If I start thinking about the lists I'm already on, I wouldn't be able to get out of bed.
You're not mindset.
And if you weren't already on it, you're on one now because you're here with
You're
all
here
of us.
listening to us. You came. So what I say to all of this stuff, the challenge is not in the 3D. The challenge is not material. The challenge is now spiritual, because now our very nature of how we do things is being challenged. The very nature of intelligence as we see is being challenged. People are surrendering their intelligence to a machine, and they're learning this behavior. So what can we do as folks who are maybe of an older age? We can show them that there are still skills that you can do that aren't done by AI. I remind people that AI is prone to hallucinations. I tested it once. I'll give you an example. I tested it with something as simple as basic metallurgy. AI, tell me how I can darken my stainless steel. I'm sure if you've had stainless steel pans and pots, how do you darken them? It told me I could use vinegar. And if I use a nice high strength vinegar, my stainless steel would be even darker. And then it offered me all kinds of tips to make the treatment more successful. I could heat up my vinegar. I could heat up the pan. I can ensure that there's a lot of vibration, a lot of motion. All these things are true if it was regular steel. But it is stainless steel, and that's why we call it stainless, because vinegar cannot touch it.
Wait. So you're saying that you can't stain stainless steel?
That is correct.
Mind blowing, isn't it not?
Yeah.
And good old AI did not know this, even though it had scanned all of our intelligent emails and forums and books. And yet it failed in this basic premise.
It's the hard skills that people learn, like physical things that you can do that will be the thing that gets us through all of that.
Agreed.
Whether we have to fight AI or learn to live with AI or manage to do the things that AI can't do. Because I mean, even if you get AI and a robot and doing all of the things like, you know, the future we were all promised in the life of leisure, it's not going to do those things. There's still going to be things that we need to physically do because a computer or a machine can't do it.
Like, so half the fun of doing the podcast is we have a little live chat that goes, right? So when we're doing this, not in person with a bunch of people where we can interact and talk and chat back and forth like we are right now, we have a little live chat going on the side. We've got a couple of comments because we are streaming this live. And I pulled this one up because I thought it was kind of funny. It's from Patrick. Says, my new favorite activity is arguing with AI because it's very entertaining.
Yes. I mean, say like I've done the same thing where like you're talking about the stainless steel and like calling it out on it. I've done the same where I was asking it stuff about some legal stuff that I happen to know about. It was trying to tell me that that's illegal. I'm like, no, actually it's not. And it's like, well, you know, maybe. And I'm like, no, like I know this for a fact. Check this. So yeah, it's fun to argue with it sometimes because it is like a real person.
Or are you just giving it more ammo to go back and learn?
Possibly.
But if it learns, then that's better.
But I can also tell you right now, there are people who are being paid by AI companies to train their models. And you know what's driving them? Artificial counters, activity watcher, timers, things that measure the human performance. So there's an artificial drive there, and it's for about $13, $14 an hour. But if you're sitting at home doing nothing and somebody's offering you a job to train an AI for $14 an hour, and you can sit home and drink pop and sit in your PJs, do you know how many people will take that over working a hard day's work for their money?
Oh yeah, young
Like,
people
how much
are.
satisfaction do you get out of going to work
I
and
know.
working and doing so as opposed to sitting home and drinking pop?
Have you hung out with young people?
Yeah.
So I run a business with a warehouse, and like it's very low barrier to entry. It's like, can you read the pick sheet, understand? Like, I don't care if you can count really, but can you recognize the numbers on this and maybe figure it out,
But
right?
have we set the bar so low that
But-
that's acceptable?
But people won't do that.
I'd say I'm
People-
afraid it's where that we are.
Especially after COVID and this work from home culture that has been started. And like for certain things, it's great, but it has created this entitlement and this standard of people now wanting to work from home. My other half has managed retail stores. There were people that would come in to do a shift and will start crying after an hour of a training shift. So we have the whole, you know, hard people and weak times and that cycle. We're in that cycle now where it's weak people have created hard times, and
AI is interfering with you right now.
yeah,
Trying to
I'm
silence
used
us.
to it.
Yeah.
That or there's some
Just shut it off.
Yeah.
Caesar's helicopter over top or
Yeah.
something.
Hal, now,
Can you just shut up, Hal?
can I make a comment first? The smartphone made me stupid because I can't remember phone numbers I could remember. Now, I was at the bank about a month ago. Big lineup. And the fellow ahead of me, he was just standing there. And I pulled out my phone and I says, what did people ever do without these before? Because everyone in front of us was on their phone, looking into their black mirror.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, in that 15-minute conversation waiting to get to a teller, guess what? I learned the man's name. I learned his occupation. He's a very skilled cement finisher because he could pour concrete on a slope. You think it's tough enough just on flat? He knew what to do. So, and then 2 weeks later, I'm in the bank, and this young man says, I don't know what I'd ever do without this at work. And I said, well, when I went to work, I went there to work. And if there was somebody needed to get a hold of me, there was a job site number. Or if I was in service work, the company knew where I was, they could call them. If it was important. Today's society is, let's just be dehumanizing. Now, go one step further. Bingo. Everyone used to go to bingo halls. Then the government introduced, well, let's do it electronically. What did that do? That dehumanized us because we didn't interact. And then the casinos, all of a sudden now you can do online dehumanizing. You know what I love about this? This is humanizing because I get to see people, I get to shake their hands, hug them if they want me to hug them. That's what life is all about, not this. And this will turn on us. And a true story, a contractor knew, respected contractor, he lived in a spot because where we live, the U.S. is right on the other side of the river. And he programmed his phone and everything. Don't roam, don't roam. And they always took care of his roaming charges. So one day he asked the technician that, erased his roaming charges. He says, I don't know. I've done everything possible so it shouldn't roam. Why is it roam? This is the answer. It's a smartphone, sir. And I'm sorry, when he told me this story, my mind went right to Terminator. You can't control a phone, and you got massive AI computers that will eventually turn on you because we've been dehumanized now.
Well, and that's where you got to find the balance in everything. Like, we can't live without it. I mean, I use this for work all the time. It makes it convenient for me because I can run my business from here, which is great, so that I can be here. But I also need to know when to shut this off.
That's right.
And what things to use it for and what things to not use it for. Yeah. All based on my risk profile and everything else, and what kind of digital footprint I want to leave. Sometimes I don't want to leave any digital footprint at all, and that's when the phone stays home. So there's plausible deniability that I was at home because my phone was there. And then my watch and everything else also gets left at home, and it's just me. But it's that balance, and I agree that the human element is a huge part of it, and that's why I like coming to these events. I like doing. I mean, I do another podcast as well, and we do it the same. It's all digital and all the things. It's convenient, but to me, this here is way more fun, and then having the audience actually be live as well is even more fun.
Even better. Yeah.
We can connect. We can connect as humans, like you said, because that's a huge part of it. We got to use this as a tool.
That's right.
And
Don't
then
let it use us. We use it.
Yeah. Master it instead of it mastering you.
Yeah.
I use this as a tool. If I need to say I'm a plumber and I don't recognize that faucet, I take a picture, send it to my wholesaler.
Yeah.
He talks to more plumbers and he say, well, I think it's this faucet. He sends me the parts. Lordy B, 99% he's right. So it's a tool. I don't sit there and play games. As I don't have employees, but I probably would, like they said, yeah, we own firearms and a backhoe. Because I would go nuts. Because if everyone's on their phone and going, you're here to work? It was, when I worked, the average, they said 6 hours out of the 8 hours days. What is it now? 2 hours out of the 8 hour day? That's probably a reality. Like my brother has employees.
That's why everyone needs AI to be able to do more because they started doing less, and so now they need to catch up.
Yeah, but what happened? It dehumanized them again. You know, they're relying on the machine.
Yeah.
When I ask AI about questions, because you don't have the choice to throw out there, you have to talk to Rufus now. You know, put a question out there. Rufus is going to, but you know, remember iRobot and he had that. The hologram couldn't answer the question, but he could only acknowledge that's the right question. Well, when I was doing programming and I'd ask, you know, what should I do this and that and doing things, but then when I asked the synopsis, it said, oh no, that'll cause a fire hazard. Well, okay, I didn't ask the right question. So I had to really be careful how I asked the question. And truthfully, I didn't want to create a problem. So in the way I asked the question, it answered. I wasn't looking to have the wrong answer nullified as, oh yeah, you're right. I wanted to know the truth. And it came back and acknowledged. So it's how you ask the question too.
Oh, for sure. And that's the funny thing about trying the different AI models against one another and seeing, like, ask this, ask that, ask it in a slightly different way, because some of them are more woke than others. And some of them will give you a more honest answer right off the bat, where others will try to temper that with whatever the political climate at the time is, which is not the truth per se. So,
and the other thing I like about these kind of, and I'll admit I haven't been as good this year, but a couple of years ago, I just went from bonfire to bonfire to bonfire to bonfire and started the conversations and got the talking and got ideas, and then moved on
stirring
to the next
the pot
one.
is what he
yeah,
was
he
doing.
stirs it.
Wow, that's AKA shit disturber here.
Yeah.
Oh, I am. I'll admit that.
What does woke mean? I heard kind of opposite meanings. So I'm not sure which one's the right meaning.
Well, I guess it's open to interpretation by anybody.
Yeah.
And that's part of the problem as well, is there's no clear definition. But to me, I mean, maybe this isn't the right podcast for that. You can tune into my other podcast, Canadian Patriot podcast, where we'll get more into that. We try to stay out of politics on this one, but people that feel that they are more progressive maybe than they are. Not that progressive is a bad thing, because we should progress, but
Maybe I'm in the end, folks. So what does also progressive mean?
moving forward,
Okay.
trying to be better.
Okay.
Not necessarily being better, but trying to be better.
Okay. So I'm not, even though I didn't know what it meant.
Yeah.
Okay, one more question for you. What are you going to do when they bring in the RFID, the chip, the mark of the beast?
Oh, you mean the forced chip implant, you mean?
The forced chip.
I know what my decision is,
Yeah.
but I'm also ready to live with it.
Yes.
And so that's why I say you all need to kind of evaluate where you stand with the technology now. And so you can decide how you're going to deal with it. Are you going to take a leadership role? Are you going to show other people the example? I've decided to do that. I'm walking away from IT as an employee, as a corporate-owned slave. I'm walking away from that game, and I'm taking on another one. It's different. I'm taking on new skills, new adventure. Is it a challenge? Yeah. Is it financially rewarding like IT was? Nope. But I'm starting the love of my life, and I'm going back to it. And in that sense, that is a real skill. It is not prone to being touched by AI yet. Right? People can still hunt, and until they stop being able to hunt with a firearm, I will still be there to show them how to do it. If that's all I do for the rest of my life, I'm happy with that. But that's my way of having a backstop against AI. Now, I think if everybody here is working on their own side gig or their own next profession where they're not reliant on tech at all, I think everybody is better off for it. And that's my personal take on it. And that's how I would address that very issue. If everybody finds their own way to do it, we're all going to be better off. What do you?
I was just going to tie together something you guys have been going around. We're all here today because of the sum of every decision we've ever made in our lives.
Yes.
Everything we have in our lives, we've brought to our lives because that was the sum of all of those decisions coming together. Our decisions to use tech or not use tech will take us down whatever path we're going to go down. But just remember, when you choose to use tech, that the tech you didn't create. Somebody built it for a purpose, and that purpose is their purpose, not yours. Use it as you would suggest for what you need and get out of it, because it will track you. It will monitor it. It will send it to the mothership. It will send it to the data centers that we started with earlier. It will do all of that. You use it for what you need, but the human relationships and the community that you build inside of the subdivision you live in, the county you live in, or in meetings like this is the most important thing, because those are the relationships that are going to help you put a garden in, train your firearms, learn how to slaughter a duck or a rabbit, or whatever skills you want to learn.
Build your tribe.
Yeah. Build your tribe.
And that's one of the things 3 years ago when it was on not the lodge, but on the private property. after experience the Preppers weekend, my conclusion is I can't do it alone. We need to build a community because I have skills that you may not, but you have skills and knowledge that I don't.
Yep.
And as a community, we can survive. And like when somebody says, I'll just bug out and go on my own path. Well, guess what? You just dehumanized yourself.
Yep.
Not to this, but you're not with people anymore.
100%.
And we're meant to be with people. That's what God intended us to be with.
If there's one thing my experience living in the bush alone for months at a time taught me, remember what we said about the Prepper rule, the rule of threes? I'm adding another one to the 3 weeks food, 3 months without social contact.
Yeah.
We are
You
social
start
people.
to become a bit more of a beast, I tell you.
Even
Right.
people that don't like people need people.
They do. They do.
I don't like people and I need people.
Oh, yeah.
Neither do I.
I'm in that category.
We got another comment here.
Other than agreeing with him, like completely right now, I think the vast majority of people who don't like people, they're around the wrong people. And I think,
Yes.
and there's a reason
And
for
we're
that.
forced to be sometimes.
The people now, but okay, well, I could say the best way to put it, I really think the truth is not just separating truth from lies. The truth is a way of life. We need to follow the true end in itself, what life is supposed to be for. And I guarantee you, anyone who follows your truth here, if it really is what's true for you, I guarantee you won't find it in letting yourself be hypnotized by scrolling. The technology is not supposed to, we're not supposed to be treating it this way. And yet millions, billions of dollars is being spent by all the powers that be in making sure that we are hypnotized into using this stuff the way they want us to use it. Technology is not the end in itself. This is the end in itself. A real community.
And I'll pull that back to the RFID question thing. Personally, if it's for me to use to be able to like get into my car or my house, I would willingly do that to myself. The minute that the government tells me that I have to, I'm going to tell them to go pound sand, right? Like, I would willingly do that because for me, it's convenient. Like, could you imagine not having to have your car keys on you and you could just walk up to your car, open the door, start your car and drive and never have to worry about leaving them behind, locking them in the car, opening your front door because it all just worked because you touch it with your hand. That's the future I want. That's amazing. That's what we were promised with all these sci-fi movies from the retro future that they're going to play music for shortly. But like the minute that it's mandatory is when I go, heck no. No, mandatory, no. Voluntary, everything. Mandatory, nothing. Like I'll choose whether I want to or not, and then anyone else can choose whether they want to or not, and that's their choice.
I choose to go again.
Yeah. I mean, I will too, and hopefully we'll be working together. So come do some shooting stuff, and maybe you'll hang out with both of us. Yeah.
Good. And I think as a last personal note for all of you here, I noticed we don't have a whole lot. There's some of you that are younger than me, and that's great. The best thing we can do, bring the young ones in.
100%.
Right? Who is not here? The generation that is suffering the most right now. The ones that aren't making ends meet, they're not able to buy a house, right? They're grinding it for 2 or 3 jobs to pay through student debt, right? Their job outlooks are not great. So what we do for them?
They're going to be the ones that are strong when we start getting weak.
So we have to help them out. So how do we do that? The best example.
Oh, yeah,
So if you've got an old skill, you know you've got, that we all talk about here, and you've got that dialed, you good? Now it's time to share it.
Yeah.
That's what my off-grid school is about. I proved to myself I could do it out there with nothing and hang out with the Amish. I proved it to me. Does it matter in the grand scheme of things? If nobody else learns from it, really? No, it doesn't mean anything. But if I'm able to communicate about it, share it, and tell people, look, it's doable. It's a lot harder.
Yeah.
You're going to do everything with about 70% more effort when you're fully off the grid.
Yeah.
But you know
Feel
what?
free to come by the
satisfaction you're gonna
campfire
have?
later, and we'll tell you all about how to fight a nation state and be off grid and all that. Bring beer, you're going to need it.
Yeah.
We're stronger than that.
Yeah.
It's not a perspective, right?
It is a lifestyle. Yeah.
If we want to go back to the Stone Age, I'm sure we could overnight. but it's not going to be pretty.
No.
What we have to teach our young people that are behind our generation is we have to lead by example. We can't just mouth the words.
No.
I could say I love you, but with no actions, they're just words.
Yep.
And we now are in a society where when I was growing up, the little rhyme, sticks and stones may hurt my bones, but words will never hurt me. Today, it's like, oh, you hurt my feelings, you hurt my feelings. And now we got laws because I hurt somebody's feelings. Yeah, I'm sorry, get a life. You know, I'm not being cruel, but if the crap hits the fan, sad to say, these people that you hurt my feelings, they're the sheep that are going to get slaughtered. I'm sorry, but that's the reality because they have no life skills.
Well, that, and I mean, they in the talk that was before this, they were saying that like they've talked to a bunch of people, and it's 50 people is the size of a group to kind of Except that as things get more difficult and times get harder, that circle gets smaller and smaller and smaller because there's only so many resources, and you're like, yeah, he's a really nice guy and he's kind of got some skills. But he's really not like pulling his weight like everyone else is, and there's only so much food. So, sorry, bud. There's the woods. That's where you are now.
You are wickedly.
Yeah.
And that's the reality, and that unfortunately, like that
has happened.
How nature works, right? Like nature is not kind; it is cruel.
Yeah.
And you get to that like a true survival situation, and that's how that becomes.
Well, think
Or
about
the old wording, only the strong survive.
Exactly.
Think
right?
about this. What dog do I trust? The one that's on the chain that wants to bite my head off, or the nice one that I'm petting? I trust the dog that on the chain that wants to bite my head off because he's true to being a dog.
It's predictable.
I
No,
know.
he's
The
gonna do
other
that.
one, it's like, oh, you're hungry. You ate my hand. Oh, thank you. You know, and if you think about dogs in a sense, before they're introduced as social creatures, they ran in packs.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't want to meet these dogs because you'd be a meal. And you think, well, what about the little Chihuahua? They will serve a purpose because when you're not around, that's a nice snack.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I will agree that 50 people would be a great community, but for me, it's probably more like 12 to 15 people for me personally. But also, I don't like people. But 50 would be great. But when it gets tough, it's going to shrink right down to maybe 3 or 4 people because those are the only people that you can provide for and trust. But then as things get better, that number expands again. And it's going to be kind of in flux. But that's where,
there was
teach the young people so that if you have young people, they can be contributing, they can help, they can do all the things, they can learn all the amazing things that this group has and be contributing and all that.
There was a good book written by, and he's not here this weekend, Terry. I call him the Sasquatch Man.
Oh, yeah.
Terry Blackmore.
Never heard of him.
No.
Denial, complete denial. But, you know, we read that book and the community started here and then it started to grow because they were actually looking at what skills could be brought into the fold.
Yeah.
And there was part of it where some of them didn't want to do anything. Well, eventually they got fed to the wolves, not by the people, but indirectly they got fed to the wolves. And that was an interesting concept. And that's a reality of, you know, you do have to
Cultures
pull your
have been
weight.
doing that for forever. I mean, we kind of all beat around the bush about it, but like tribalism was the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We need to go back to tribalism because we need to actually build communities. The idiot box thing is great for keeping in touch with friends of mine that live on the other side of the world, but their life and my life don't affect one another.
Mm-hmm.
They don't live in my community.
Right.
Like we have this notion now that like we're supposed to help all the starving kids in Africa or whatever other nation it is at the time that is popular. And that is a noble thing. And it's not that we shouldn't, but we've gotten to the point where those people matter more than my neighbor.
Yes.
And if you take
everybody that exists on the planet right now, and don't add any more people, but right now, and you were to write their name on a piece of paper, just write it down and then go immediately to the next. You didn't have to eat, sleep, go to the bathroom, or you would not be able to complete that list in your lifetime. Yet somehow I'm supposed to care about those people as much as I care about my actual family. That is a ridiculous notion.
They play on our emotions and our feelings.
And again, it's not that we shouldn't help people in need. We should help people in need because that's what we should do to help one another and be. But
there's a saying.
We've lost the focus. We've lost that tribalism where it takes a village to raise a child and all that. That village needs to be an actual village, not a virtual village with 50 people around the world and the internet. It needs to be local.
There's a
Build
saying,
that community.
There's a saying, the first one in life you must help is yourself so you can help others. Because if you can't help yourself, you're weak and you can't help others. Well, you shouldn't be helping them. You should be supporting them. Because when you help somebody, you're just enabling them to do.
Well, and I'm not a particularly religious man, but it's the whole you can give a man a fish or you can teach him to fish, right?
Yeah.
Teach them to fish.
Teach them to fish.
And ultimately, there's a lot of ways to lead people. If you want to be the change you want to see, you're going to have to lead it.
That's right. You're going to have to walk the talk.
You're going to have to walk the talk. And so, in a way, that's what I've done. I've got 2 daughters. So I'm thinking about them ultimately. What kind of word am I leaving for them? So if we start thinking more than just about us, start thinking about the next generation, bigger scale, right? What kind of world do we want to leave for them? Well, we have to become that example. I've chosen to become that example at great financial risk, but at a huge soul gain. Because I can face them right in the eye and tell them, well, this is what I did and this is why. I can justify it, and there's a set of ethics behind it that I can communicate. But if we're unable to communicate those values and have them spread, they're going to end with us. So we have to be that leadership. When I'm at work and I'm working with that younger generation that uses their phone as a distraction and it's their normal state of being, I try to show them the example. I don't look at my phone at all. When the phone blips, I don't touch it. If it's dispatch looking for me, I will ignore it because I'm driving or I'm operating. They call the young lad on his phone because they know he's got it. And what if I taught him that day? I'm doing my job. Phone's not doing my job. Who's creating value for the company? Not the phone. The guy behind the wheel, the guy behind the tool. Right? So if we show the younger generation how to do it, what they found is that when they send me with the young lads, the job still gets done. And they go back in and they say, well, he taught me how to do this. It's because I want him to be useful. Right? So if you're seeing that in the new generation, help them out. If they even have even a remote iota of interest, man, you nurture that. That's the only thing I can say. You nurture that. You work with what you got.
That's right.
Right. If you only got one out of your entire clan who wants to hear anything, you work with the one. Right. That's all I can do. So I'll work with the willing. Those who aren't, we have to be judicious. We have to choose who you share your energy, who you spend your energy with. Right. So start with local. Start with your clan. Start with your families, and it grows very quickly from there. It will snowball. But that's my opinion of it. That's what I've done, and that's the way I'm going to go. But I know everybody else has different strategies. But I kind of agree with everybody that lone wolf, strength in numbers. That's what has made people survive over the years. Strength in numbers. Specialization has grown over the years. Traditionally, in small groups like 50 or smaller, it has been familial. You learn most naturally from your mom and dad. Children, they're monkey see, monkey do. They most naturally will want to learn whatever it is you're doing, and that's their biggest thing. That's all they really want.
That includes bad habits too.
Yes, yes, Gavin. So knowing that, you can transmit that to your grandchildren. If your children are of adult age and still listening, you've got a gift there. Right? You still got time to communicate things to them. So
raising a child, the child is always using these, your eyes, and these, the ears. Do they really listen to you? Well, you're youngin'. Before those little plastic plugs you could stick in your outlets, you'd say, don't put that in there. And we knew that it wasn't going to hurt them. But what happened? And when if they seen you looking, they wouldn't cry. They'd just go,
I only touched a cigarette lighter in a car one time to learn that was not a good idea.
So
now they just don't have them, so it's not a problem.
They're always, like you said, they're always watching and they're always listening. That's how we learn, and that's why they call it learn behavior.
So just paying attention to the time here, we're pretty much at the point where we got to wrap things up.
There's a dance party.
There is a dance party going on. But this is kind of the idea of what we try to do every Sunday with the podcast, right? Unfortunately, we can't all be together in one big group, all together in person. But we try to do this sort of the same kind of idea in a virtual environment. Like I said, we've got the live chat, so everybody can interact with us. It's usually us on the panel talking to you guys, but we encourage everybody to feed back information into the chat so we can get conversations like this, and we can squirrel away from. We're talking about AI. We're talking about data centers. We're talking about burning ourselves with cigarette lighters. Right? We just wherever the topic kind of takes us. We try to set a core topic for that night if we can. There's some nights that we just say we're going to hop on and just do like we did tonight and just chit chat with everybody. But we try to build on that one core topic for the night, and then we squirrel off to wherever it takes us. And we try to keep it in about an hour. And then if you're not able to come and join us live, the recording is available on YouTube, and then we also push an audio version out to any podcast application that you may use, so you can listen to what our ramblings of the night were. It's a lot of fun to do. Doing it live like this is fun as well. It's a whole different way of doing things, but that's kind of like what we've done tonight. It's what we try to recreate in the digital world, so we can all share knowledge together and chat like we have tonight. So,
and I know we bash technology, we bash AI, but I'm going to push. We have a Discord channel, and we are pretty active on that. If you have ideas or thoughts, get out.
There's a really good community of folks in that Discord chat as well that share all kinds of information. Like Jeff is always pushing out weather information for people in all kinds of little areas, so you know what's coming your way. People there's lots of knowledge sitting in there as well. So
even the most anti-tech people are for using tech to further the means.
Well, look at what you're doing tonight. Without the tech, this wouldn't happen. Wouldn't happen with
it would
us.
happen like this.
It'd just be all everyone in his tent.
But without the tech, we're using the tech. It's not using us.
Exactly. We're using it to help kind of get everybody who has certain specialties and certain knowledge together to share that knowledge with everybody else.
Knowledge.
So it's a lot of fun. So I hope that you guys will join us if you haven't, and if you have joined us, please come back. It's a lot of fun, and we enjoy doing it. So with that, we'll close this off. We're still going to be around. So there's a dance party going on. So
now you're going to retire to the original tech, which is the fire.
The actual campfire instead of the virtual campfire. We'll be over there. Bring beer, like I said. We'll teach you fun things,
like how to make a fire.
All right.